Hello and welcome to this special year-end edition of SPtv News.
On the broadcast today, we are looking back in the world of sports and entertainment. Also, we have a special tribute to those who will be leaving SPtv this semester. SPtv News starts now.
Some residents of Penn Hills, Pennsylvania may have taken their holiday decorating a little too far. The residents of Pittsburgh suburb gift-wrapped their neighbor's house, which had been abandoned 9 months ago due to a fire. Neighbors to the charred house say that it is an eyesore and will bring down the value of the other homes in the neighborhood. To help get the local municipal government to notice, a large red bow can be found on the house. Neighbors say they hope the house will be gone in time for Christmas.
A New Zealand pet shelter has proven that you can teach an old dog new tricks. The New Zealand Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals have been coaching rescue dogs how to drive cars for several weeks. Vehicles have been designed to accommodate the unique driving style of the dogs. The lessons are part of a campaign to teach potential owners that abandoned pets are not second-class animals as they are misconstrued to be. The dogs have driven with minimal human guidance so far, and Porter, a 10-month-old birdie cross, will attempt to drive a Mini Countryman unassisted sometime by the end of December.
In the internet society we live in today, many of us are familiar with internet crazes such as planking or photobombing. Another craze known as milking has officials in Australia concerned. Milking is a trend which people share photos and video of themselves dumping a bottle of milk over themselves. One video of the stunt from Newcastle, England is receiving more than 500,000 hits on YouTube. For officials from Austria's AMA farm lobby, this is far too many. The group has launched a campaign to deter people dumping milk with hopes that they will drink it instead. The campaign centers on video of a man drinking an entire carton of milk without stopping or spilling a single drop. It is their hope that the new and less wasteful phase will come as a result.
A group of protesters in San Francisco had to be removed after their protest turned naked. The protest occurred after the City Board of Supervisors took final actions to ban public nudity in the city. The controversial decision comes following complaints from residents and businesses saying public nudity has gone beyond an acceptable amount. If the city's mayor signs the bill, the ordinance will take effective on February 1st. Nudist proponents may still be happy to learn that the ordinance will not prevent public nudity for children under 5, marchers in special events such as the San Francisco Pride Parade, or those visiting nude beaches.
Finals are just around the corner for college students, and one university in Canada has found an interesting way to help students cope with the stress of tests. Dalhousie University will be providing a puppy room throughout finals week. The puppy room is exactly what it sounds like. It's a room full of puppies. Therapeutic Dogs of Canada will be bringing in puppies from several different breeds for students to play with in these stressful times. The use of pets is said to lower blood pressure and relieve stress. Don LeBlanc, a team leader at Therapeutic Paws, says that word of mouth has rapidly spread about Dalhousie's puppy room, and 6 other schools have contracted him in hopes of staging similar events of their own.
A Wisconsin father of 9 has been ordered to stop procreating. Corey Curtis, 44, owes $90,000 in child support and pleaded no contest in October to 1 count each of felony bail jumping and failure to pay child support. Racine County Circuit Court Judge Tim Boyle knows his ruling may seem unorthodox, but he says, and I quote, "Common sense dictates you shouldn't have kids you can't afford," unquote. A similar case in 2001 in which Wisconsin Supreme Court officials upheld a court appeals ruling that a judge may order the defendant not to conceive another child unless he is financially stable. Curtis owes about $50,000 in back child support and another $40,000 total in interest to 6 different mothers.
It is official. Cheaters should best be aware. That is, unless you are a woman. An Australian study shows new research on cheating in relationships. The study collected photos of self-proclaimed cheaters and showed the photos to a group of men and women, which were asked to decide whether or not the person in the photo was likely to be unfaithful. The results show, when comparing gender, women are more likely to correctly identify male cheaters. The men could not. The study suggests that women in the study used apparent masculinity to determine the cheaters, whereas the men guided their decisions by attractiveness.
James Irvine, 41, of Florida, faces charges of child neglect after leaving his 10-month-old son with the family pit bull while he went out to the bar. The baby's mother arrived back home to find Irvine urinating on himself. He then admitted to having been out drinking. However, he says he hadn't really left the child alone because the pit bull was watching the baby. The mother went inside the house to find the child crying in a closed room with the pit bull standing outside. Upon his arrest, Irvine denied being out that night. However, a local bartender says she saw Irvine that night and that he had not paid his tab. Irvine was taken into custody but has been released on a $1,500 bail.
A New York couple have found themselves in deep water. Following a warranted search, Michael and Alyssa Volpe have been indicted for harboring a prohibited wild animal when officials found a 3-foot alligator in a tank in their basement apartment. The couple also drew multiple charges for possession of illegal weapons and drugs. A spokesman from the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office says that this is the first time in memory that anyone in the area has been charged with keeping an alligator. However, New York is no stranger to the exotic animals. In September, 13 animals, including 2 alligators, were rescued from a Crown Heights apartment.
A new addition has recently been made to the Pizza Hut menu, a perfume that allows its wearers to smell like a freshly cooked pizza. The pizza-scented cologne started as a joke when Pizza Hut Canada posted a photo of the perfume on their Facebook page, asking their fans what a Pizza Hut-themed scent should be named. The post became extremely popular among fans, and Pizza Hut has rewarded 100 lucky individuals with their own bottle of the yet unnamed cologne. Pizza Hut's director of marketing says that it is designed to smell like freshly baked dough with a touch of spice. Well, Boone, I know what I'm going to get everybody for in the SPtv office as stocking stuffers. How great would that smell in our office?
You'd see me around a lot more often, I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure we would have a lot more people.
If I wanted to smell like Pizza Hut, I think I'd get a job as a delivery driver.
You know what? We would miss Ryan Sandkyle less if we could smell Pizza Hut in the office.
That's fine. It's now time for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
And when we come back, we'll have Jackie Lang with your 2012 entertainment recap. Stay tuned.
Savings Man here with a story for you about 2 young spenders named Tommy and Sue. Their parents let them buy whatever they chose, like video games and designer clothes. As they grew older, they spent all their pay on fancy cars, houses, 2 lattes a day. They lived in the moment, never saving a dime. When they tried to retire, they'd run out of time. Working forever is Tom and Sue's fate, so choose to save now before it's too late. Visit our website to find out more, cause a happy ending's worth saving for.
Welcome back. The year is almost at an end, and what a great year it was for entertainment news. Let's take a look back at all of the year's top pop culture stories. We'll start at the very beginning of 2012. Early in January, celebrity power couple Jay-Z and Beyoncé welcomed their first daughter into their family. The second this couple announced that they were married, it seemed that the world was waiting for them to push the baby carriage. If there hadn't been enough hoopla over the infant, there was an even bigger surge of media coverage when the two announced that they had named her Blue Ivy, a name that was as loved as it was questioned. Other first-time celeb parents of 2012 include Adele, Jessica Simpson, Megan Fox, and Chris Hemsworth. Earlier this year, it was announced that Project Runway host Heidi Klum was separating from Seal, her husband of 7 years. The news came as a shock to most, as the pair had consistently appeared to be very happy together. The couple have 4 children together, the eldest having been adopted by Seal, as the child was a result of Klum's previous relationship. The couple filed for divorce back in May. 2012 was not without its share of surprising breakups. Amongst them were comedic couple Amy Poehler and Will Arnett, who separated after 8.5 years of marriage. This year also saw the end of celebrity couple Tom Cat, as Katie Holmes filed for divorce from Tom Cruise. The proceedings were swift, taking barely over a month to be finalized. Keeping on the relationship track, Twilight fans everywhere were devastated when word got out that star Kristen Stewart had cheated on longtime beau Robert Pattinson with her Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders. The reaction was immediate, as fans were quick to console Pattinson and even quicker to bash K-Stu. In the end, she issued a public apology to her boyfriend and to her fans. Pattinson wasted no time in forgiving her and taking her back, as this, along with other thought-out inconsistencies, made the public wonder if the whole affair wasn't just a publicity stunt to help boost the ratings of the film, which was seen by critics and audiences alike as being mediocre. Jumping across the pond, Queen Elizabeth II celebrated her 60th year as Queen of England, prompting celebrations of her Diamond Jubilee. Traditionally, the Diamond Jubilee is celebrated on a 75th anniversary. However, it was bumped up to the 60th in 1897 during the reign of Queen Victoria. The late Queen had withdrawn from the majority of public life following the death of her husband in 1861. The Jubilee was moved up in an attempt to return her to her public. To date, Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth II are the only 2 monarchs in the history of the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand to have celebrated the Diamond Jubilee. In other royal news, it was recently announced that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge will be welcoming their first child in 2013. Congratulations to the royal couple. It's been weeks since Disney bought out Lucasfilm, but with the announcement of a 3rd film trilogy, speculations about the storyline and possible directors have begun. Directors that have been connected to Episode 7 include X-Men First Class's Matthew Vaughn, Iron Man's Jon Favreau, and The Social Network's David Fincher. Actors have also been speaking up, and among those who've stated they're interested are Twilight star Robert Pattinson, 80s star Corey Feldman, and even British actor David Tennant. Actor Ewan McGregor has recently stated that should producers ask, he would be more than happy to resume his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's interesting. We've been talking about the Star Wars being bought out by Disney for a while now. I know a lot of us here are huge Star Wars fans, and I just think it's really interesting.
I don't know. I want to see more Jack Black in movies.
Jackie,
Can't get enough of that guy.
Jackie, you think Jack Black should be in the Star Wars films?
I don't know if Jack Black is necessarily cut out for the seriousness of Star Wars, but we'll have to see what the director will choose.
Well, thank you, Jackie. We really appreciate it.
Well, Ben Stiller, Jonah Hill, any one of those guys. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't change your channel. We'll have more SPtv news when we return.
Involved in media, but news isn't your thing? Are you looking to be the next great sports announcer? Well, SPtv Live Sports is for you. Get involved with sports analysis, play-by-play, camera work, and more. There are plenty of ways to get involved, so what are you waiting for? SPtv, we want you to get involved.
Oh man. Oh.
Is he just like moaning? Welcome back. We continue as North Korean group of archaeologists claim to have found a long-lost home of mythical creatures. According to the North Central News Agency, archaeologists have discovered a rock with the words "Unicorn Lair" inscribed upon it. The carving is believed to be dated back to the Koryo Kingdom that took place from the 10th to the 14th century. The Korean Central News Agency has also provided a report that the late North Korean leader Kim Jong-il was born under a double rainbow and once stopped a blizzard.
The country's oldest university, Harvard, will not be adding safe kinky sex to its 376-year-old history. That is the focus of a new student organization that has been approved by the Harvard Committee on Student Life. The group, now officially recognized as Harvard College Munch, says their group is for students interested in kink and alternative sexualities to meet and organize relevant events such as speakers, screenings, and discussions. The organization also provides a team to help victims of abuse or trauma. Other active groups exist within Cambridge and nearby Boston.
Unplanned marriages are just one of the many gems that Las Vegas has to offer visitors. Now the famous Savannah nuptials may be offered with a side of scrambled eggs. The 24-hour American diner franchise, Denny's, has now opened a location in Las Vegas and will now marry patrons upon request. Out of 1,700 locations worldwide, this will be the first location to feature a wedding chapel and photo booth. The restaurant will also feature a full bar. The chapel is scheduled to start hosting weddings in 2013 and already has one celebrity wedding slated for February.
The Crown Princess of Norway was mistaken for a nanny after she traveled to India to help a friend in need. The princess decided the trip was necessary after an employee of the palace in Norway received news that a surrogate mother had given birth to his child. Both the employee and his husband were unable to obtain travel visas in time for the birth, so the princess decided to travel in secret to New Delhi to care for the child. During her absence, no formal word was issued indicating that she had left the country. A relative of the parents eventually took over for the princess until the fathers received their visas in November.
A nice stroll around Scotland may be the top of many people's bucket list, but for one Scottish man, his dreams are being thwarted by authorities. He was recently set free after 18 convictions and immediately set out for the countryside to hike once again. His crime? Walking naked. Stephen Goh, dubbed the Naked Rambler, has spent much of his last 6 years and out of jail for his risky hobby. Justin Prince joins us now with a look back at this semester of Pointer Sports.
Thanks, Boone. It's been a semester of ups and downs for all of UWSP's athletics. Football and soccer went through coaching changes, and while soccer flourished under their new head coach, the football team struggled. Losing a few close games, the UWSP football team went 2-8 under new head coach Tom Durnell, with the bright spots of the year beating four-time defending national champion UW Whitewater and first-team all-conference wide receiver Theo Malio heading to the Aztec Bowl. Women's soccer went 13-6-1 in Megan Schmidt's inaugural season in the purple and gold and made it to the WEAC championship game before falling to Whitewater 1-0. Unfortunately for the women, they did not receive an at-large bid into the playoffs. 4 women were named to the All-WEAC team. For the second straight year, the women's volleyball team were regular season WEAC champs, but lost to Eau Claire in the conference tournament. Receiving an at-large bid, the women were off to Minnesota, where they fell short in the first round of the playoffs to Northwestern. 4 players were named to the all-conference team. Coach Stacy White took home Coach of the Year, and sophomore Alexis Hartman was named honorable mention All-American. And after an almost disappointing 7-5 regular season, the Wisconsin Badgers football team found themselves back in the Big Ten championship game for the second straight year, where they unleashed a season's worth of frustration, going off on Nebraska for 539 rushing yards in the 70-31 blowout victory. They will represent the Big Ten in the Rose Bowl for the third straight year, with former head coach and current athletic director Barry Alvarez on the sidelines, after former head coach Brett Bielema took the same position at Arkansas. It's time to take another break, but when we return, we will have a special tribute to SPTV's Boone Sorenson and Kassandra Sepeda. You will not want to miss this. Stay tuned.
So, Stevie, let's get down to business. Are you or are you not going to transfer to a D1 school? No, just answer the question. Oh, why do you guys even make me do this stuff? I'll be in wardrobe. I'll be in wardrobe. Welcome back. Another semester is coming to an end, and that means that we have to say goodbye to two very special people at Student Television. My friend and co-anchor Boone Sorenson will be graduating this semester. Boone is no stranger to the SPtv news desk. He will also be remembered for his contributions to SPtv's coverage of trivia. Also, we must bid farewell to longtime news producer and anchor Kassandra Sepeda. Kassandra couldn't be here tonight, but she will be spending next semester abroad in London and then graduating at the end of spring. Our production team has put together a look back at some of the more memorable moments of both Boone and Kassandra that they were a part of. So let's go take a look, guys. This is Boone Sorenson. He is a non-traditional student here at UWSP, and he's our campus spotlight for the week.
Boone Sorenson here with SPtv once again for another trivia parade. This time, it's Trivia 43, Trivia Grid. Let's go check out some floats. Tonight the temperature will drop to a freezing 19 degrees. So be sure to get out those winter coats because winter is definitely here. Well, do you know anything about foreign policy?
I know. There is a Queen of England.
Well, then you've got my vote.
Oh, man.
Ridiculous. So I say, if you're gonna rob a bank, make sure it's not in the same town you live in. My pockets are always full for those bell ringers.
I'm definitely excited for winter to be back. You know, I kind of like the cold weather. A lot of people don't like it, but I do.
I have 7 layers of clothes on all winter.
Right now?
Right now.
Gotta be a little warm.
What a stupid float. Look at that guy. All right. This guy must be really lonely. Calling up Craigslist, inviting girls over, calling the police. He just wants to have friends.
It's sad. I don't think he was hugged as a child. I'm Jenna Creighton.
And I'm Boone Sorenson. We'll see you right here next week, unless the rapture happens, on SPtv News. But until then, have a great weekend.
Welcome back to SPtv News. I'm Kassandra Sepeda with your campus entertainment news.
Time to brush up on your quiz knowledge because Trivia 41 takes place this weekend.
You know, it certainly is frustrating to see the warm temperatures disappearing for a short time.
Yes, but I can't hope but wait that weather is going to come back and we're going to have some nice spring weather coming, and I just can't wait until summer.
Welcome to the first Wednesday news show of the spring semester. I'm Kassandra Sepeda.
And I'm Jacob.
You gotta wonder sometimes what people are thinking.
Or if they are, for that matter.
Right.
Don't get too excited though, because U.S. audiences may never see it. The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, a head-trippy film about a magic magician who gives his audiences a little bit more than they bargained for, was in the middle of shooting when Heath Ledger died early last year. Protect Your Balls is a dodgeball tournament that is being held to raise money and awareness about testicular cancer. The tournament is being held in the Quant at 6 p.m. on February 20th.
All right, well, that's all we have for you tonight.
Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Dummer.
And I'm Kassandra Sepeda. Have a supreme week, everyone.
Boone, you've been here with SPtv since 2009. You were a news producer. You've been on air. It's been nothing but great with you being with SPtv. Is there anything that you're going to take away from this experience with SPtv?
Everything. Everything I can remember. Trivia, the parades, the other stuff we're not supposed to talk about. But yeah, it's all been a great experience. Thank you, Nick.
Well, thank you. Well, that brings us to the end of our newscast for today. We'll be back on next semester, but until then, I'm Nick Collenberg.
And I'm Boone Sorenson. Enjoy the rest of your life, Stevens Point. I'm done.
Football, pass, touchdown, 1984, 6 seconds left, dog fluted, miracle Hail Mary to beat Miami, 47-45. Woo! That's it,
Yes!
baby!
Yes!
In your
We win!
face!
We win!
In your face!
Woo!
Facial. We know sports. We know sports. Woo!
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We believe strongly in supporting the children of America. Our youth programs include American Legion Baseball, Junior Shooting Sports, Boys and Girls State, the Oratorical Scholarship Program, Support for Scouting, and many others. We support and promote citizenship and integrity in America's future leaders. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
We are now in the depths of the Communication Arts Center here in Stevens Point doing an investigation. This is what it's all about. We get down and dirty to find you evidence.
And to catch more Paranormal Point, you can tune in here on SPtv every night at 10 o'clock.
Savings Man here with a story for you about two young spenders named Tommy and Sue. Their parents let them buy whatever they chose, like video games and designer clothes. As they grew older, they spent all their pay on fancy cars, houses, 2 lattes a day. They lived in the moment, never saving a dime. When they tried to retire, they'd run out of time. Working forever is Tom and Sue's fate, so choose to save now before it's too late. Visit our website to find out more, 'cause a happy ending's worth saving for.
Are you looking to get involved in media but news isn't your thing? Are you looking to be the next great sports announcer? Well, SPtv Live Sports is for you. Get involved with sports analysis, play-by-play, camera work, and more. There are plenty of ways to get involved, so what are you waiting for? SPtv, we want you to get involved.
McGruff here. Your mission, get my new free comic activity book on how to avoid bullies, guns, and drugs. Write McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Play it smart and help take a bite out of crime.